All righty. Let's make sure we're all good to go here. Trying to set up the first live stream here on the YouTube channel. Welcome in, guys. If you guys are just joining. And the Lakers have a new starting five that we get to talk about. Or not necessarily a new starting five, but all right, yeah, we are live, baby. Let's go. The Lakers announced a new starting five. Well, it's not necessarily a new starting five, but we got some news, folks. JJ Redick was on Zach Lowe's podcast. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody, here on YouTube. We're going to let some people hop in here. If you guys are new here on the YouTube channel, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and subscribe here to the channel. This is the first live show of the year. As you guys can see, we're not fully, loaded up and ready to go. Still got some stuff we got to, get squared away with some kinks and things like that. So the comments, I don't believe I'll be able to pull up on the screen, but in the future, we'll be able to pull comments up on the screen. So my guy DLCM on Twitter, welcome in. But my Twitter comments I can pull in right now, as you guys can see there. What's up, Ashley? What's up, D8? What's up, the Stir? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the Lakers, we got a bunch of stuff today from JJ Redick. Like I said, was on check them on your phone. Yeah, I have my so if you guys, I'm gonna try to do this. If you guys can see here, I have my monitor. Hi, me. I have my monitor right next to me where I have my YouTube dashboard and things like that up. So we do have that up and loaded. So I could see everything on YouTube that way. And then hopefully in the future we'll be able to get some of the other kinks figured out. We'll wait a few more minutes where we really get started here, and we'll really dive in here. The starting five, give us the lineup. Yep, we'll get into the lineup stuff in just a sec, along with some of the other quotes. No, the presser was not today, but we still got a bunch of news. Don't know why we don't have super chats enabled. We'll get all this stuff situated and up and running by the time the season starts. This is a perfect time to ask you guys here in the chat, the people we do have in here. Once again, hit that like button for me. Get more people in here so we could chat Lakers ball before the season gets started here. Atlanta, Georgia in the house. V Shell, welcome in. The presser is tomorrow, but I'm gonna ask you guys this question here before we get started. Are you guys more of a fan of the post-game show, or you guys more want a day, the next day type of recap and things like that, where maybe have the time to look at the film and kind of have a debrief, or even it's a game, let's say it's a Tuesday night game, they don't play it till Thursday. Okay, cool. Wednesday night is more of a live show, but it's after me looking at the film with some key headlines to take away. So let me know what you guys think. Post game is necessary. All right, we'll take in the data. We'll get some more people in here before we make any hard. Let's put a poll. I haven't done this before. Let's put a poll up here in the chat. Post game show or both scenarios will be live streams. Both scenarios will be live streams. Let's see. So let's go. Post game next day. I have a preference, but I'm willing to do whichever that you guys want. So make sure you guys vote on that poll for me. We have over 70 people in here. Once again, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. All right, let's catch up on the comments here in the chat. All right, we got a lot of post game. All right, let's see. No need for the post game. Oh yeah, the post game is outrageous. We are not doing that. Not doing that. Next day film, that would be my vote. If I had a vote in this, that would be my vote. But we're gonna leave it up to you guys. The late post-game show was the wave. Yeah, but can't really do that too much longer. Austin, Texas in here. Welcome in, bro. Sean, what's your secret to avoiding gray hairs? You look 23-ish. They're going to come in here in a couple of years with my lifestyle. They're going to come in here in a couple of years. So no exact routine or secret or whatever. I take either. Next day film will be fun. Yeah, I won't be able to like fully like have a lot of clips, but I'd be able to, for one, share my analysis or whatever from the games, and then we'll be able to at least talk a little bit. I thought Sean was 50. Damn. That's crazy. No disrespect to anybody that's 50. Oh man, we're gonna have fun this year too. We're gonna have fun this year. Next day film is technically post game. Sure. Technically, you are right, DA. Technically, the next day film is post game. You are right, I suppose. Twitter, what you guys thinking? We get some more votes in here, guys. Let's get some more votes in here. Let's get this tweeted out one more time. Honestly, I could do both if I have the time. Post game for raw reactions, next day for the film breakdowns. Okay. And again, the next day part won't have a lot of film in it. It will be for sure, though, like my reaction after watching the film for sure. I just want to clarify that. All right, we got enough people in here, I think. So let me find there is a bunch of information we have here from this JJ Redick interview. JJ Redick was on Zach Lowe's podcast, and he had a bunch of really, really great stuff. The Lowe post. So let's start off with this. This is a topic that I covered on in a recent video here on the channel. Make sure you guys go check that out. He talks about Dawn Connect. And first thing he says about Dawn Connect is Dawn to me is in the 1% of shooters. He has a skill that's hard to find. He's going to have to earn a spot in the rotation. Okay, so if you like listen to coach speak, that's one of those like we're gonna play you, but you gotta earn it type of deals. As I kind of detailed in the video that released today, I expect Dawn Connect to play 15 plus minutes a night. And I think this team is actually going to need Dawn Connect to play 15 plus minutes a night pretty early on in the season. So yeah, I like Dawn Connect a lot. I had him 10th on my board if you account for injuries, 11th if you just account for raw talent or whatever. Nikola Topic would have been 10th. Nikola Topic would have been a little bit higher if it wasn't for the injuries. But yeah, Dawn's awesome. Again, that's one of those, we got to keep the locker room happy type of vibes. D'Lo and Reaves is not a balanced backcourt. I agree. So let's just get to the nitty gritty and what people really are here for. So this is what JJ Redick, what's good, chat. This is what JJ Redick said when asked about what the starting lineup is. It will be the starting five that went 23-10 last season. And when asked to confirm what that group is, assuming it was, hey, it's Austin, D'Lo, LeBron, Rui, and Anthony Davis, he said yes. So that's going to be the starting group last season. That group went 23-10. I'm glad that they're not playing any games necessarily. I am excited to see what this group can look like with JJ Redick at the helm. I do think that JJ, at the very least, I think the morale amongst the fan base is really, really low. I think JJ has done everything in his power, like with how he's talked in the media and things like that. He's done everything he possibly can to kind of boost the morale up a little bit by saying the right stuff to her. At least you're cautiously optimistic. Even if you think JJ Redick is going to flop, right? You are at the very least, I think, cautiously optimistic about, what the JJ Redick experience can look like. And kudos to JJ for that. Did I leave Lakers Nation? Yes, I did leave Lakers Nation. I have a whole video breaking down what happened and what did not happen because there's a lot of idiots on social media. On my personal channel, the Sports Headline Show, go check that out. A bunch of great NBA content as well over there, including my preseason power ranking series. But anyway, going back to the whole thing with JJ, like I think from the introductory presser to any interview he's done, And I'm reading like the quotes and things right now. I haven't even really got a chance to listen to the actual interview, but he is saying a lot of just smart things and the right things, right? When talking about LeBron being off the ball, I'm going to read the whole quote here. When people hear in regards to LeBron playing off ball, it doesn't mean he's not going to have the ball. LeBron is one of the smartest players, using him as a screener and finding ways to get him the ball on specific spots on the floor where he can be a facilitator and a scorer. That's what I mean when I say he will be off the ball. I don't mean that LeBron will walk the ball up the floor and get pressured at 94 feet. He's going to run high pick and roll every time. So again, this is, in my opinion, like I kind of figured this is what he would, be envisioning. I didn't really think it was necessary to clarify that. I mean, good for him that he clarified that. But if you look at LeBron's play type data, I'm going to pull it up here per great people and great friends over at Synergy, who do a lot of great stuff for me. Get this screen pulled up here. All right, so if we're looking at Synergy here, my YouTube people should be able to see us now. All right, so we're looking at LeBron's play type data last season, right? And what we can kind of expect an uptick in. He was in the hold on. There we go. 55th percentile in terms of usage in his scoring possessions being pick and roll ball handler, meaning him scoring out of ball screens. Let me backtrack. Scoring possessions per Synergy is a shot attempt. So make, miss, foul, turnover. That is what the possession ends at. So 55, he's in the 55th percentile for his scoring possessions ending in a LeBron miss shot, a LeBron turnover, a LeBron bucket, or him getting fouled, essentially, right? 89th percentile, he was going ISO actually a lot, 76th percentile in terms of post-up scoring possessions, 7th percentile for spot-up possessions, 46th percentile in terms of pick and roll man, so him being the screener now, 28th percentile for cutting, not a lot of usage for handoffs and off-screen stuff. So when looking at LeBron's play type data here and look at the things I would like to see LeBron do more, essentially, I like the idea of using LeBron more of a screener, but I do think there's a flaw in this too. I think the flaw is this makes a lot of sense in lineups without Anthony Davis on the floor. Unless, and JJ Redick did talk about this. There is a quote about about Anthony Davis's shooting, and JJ Redick claims that he has a theory about Anthony Davis's shooting, which I think at the very least is interesting and decently willing to hear him out on that theory, right? And he said he'll share that at the end of the season if he's correct. And really quickly, chat, I just dropped the link to my other channel in the chat. If you guys want to go check that out for me. Excuse me. But let's say JJ Redick is wrong about Anthony Davis's 3-point shooting, right? And it never ever goes back to form again, right? Then unless you're using him as a inverted screen setter for Anthony Davis, which they could tap into that a little bit more. I don't think it makes a ton of sense to do that with him and Anthony Davis in the starting five together. You could do it with like if Anthony Davis is in the dunker spot and it's like to beat a certain coverage and things like that, sure. But a lot of it would be pick and pops and things like that. Again, though, this makes the most sense in non-Anthony Davis lineups. The thing that I do want to see an uptick in, and I've been calling for this for 2 years now, is the cutting. Like LeBron James is one of the 5 best. If we're just talking about efficiency in general and impact off the ball, LeBron James is an insane off-ball offensive player. And it makes sense why JJ Redick will want to use this 40-year-old player a little bit more off-ball. D-Russ says, repeat the starting 5 is D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reaves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Anthony Davis. That's the starting 5. I'm not really surprised. I think that there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Jared Vanderbilt and his health status currently. So who knows what the lineup looks like when he gets back. But I think this is going to be the lineup. JJ Redick has praised Rui Hachimura all summer. It's also a good sign for Rui's health, actually, that Rui's being mentioned in the starting 5 because he's also had his, fair share of health concerns this offseason. One more time, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button here on the channel and subscribe here to the YouTube channel if you guys are new. Hold on one sec. So is Vando unhealthy unofficially? I think he's unofficially unhealthy. We haven't heard anything but official, but everything we've heard about Vando this summer has not been good. It hasn't been anything good necessarily when discussing Vando's health. All right, let's get back to some more of these quotes here. Actually, you know what? Let's get to some of your questions and comments here in the chat. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Mr. Hitstick, what's good? Sean, Joint to Joint. Sean, what's up, bro? Let's see where this poll is at, too. Get some more votes on that, guys. Right now, you guys are leaning more post-game. Maybe I'll put a poll up in the community section, too. Let's see. JJ Redick is just giving whatever the media wants. Doubt he's going to give out his game plan and system to the public, LOL. I don't think he really revealed anything too shocking. I don't think he did anything or revealed anything shocking about the game plan. Like when talking about the offense, this is what JJ Redick says about the offense. In terms of what the offense looks like, there will be a decent amount of movement. The shot profile will hopefully improve. We talked about ways to create more paint touches, shooting more threes, and some of the leeway you have to give players with the mid-range shots. From a possession standpoint, one of the margins this team created last year has been free throws. Outside of that, there hasn't been margin creations. We had to emphasize offensive rebounding, corner crashes. I'm not comparing that to any other previous coach or system, but those are some of the things that will look like that will wait. But those are some of the things that will look like a team that I coach. Okay, that was a little weird wording there at the end, but so I don't really think that's anything crazy. He's kind of just saying, hey, look, we're gonna move the ball more. We're gonna have a bigger emphasis on crashing from the corners and offensive rebounding. And we're going to have a healthier shot diet. And all of this is very like analytically minded, if that makes sense, right? Crashing from the corners, very analytical way of thinking there. The shot diet and the shot profile and things like that, very analytically like wired there. That's a very analytical statement by JJ Redick. The paint touches, obviously analytical, things like that. So I don't really think he it's not like JJ is saying, look, we're gonna run Spain pick and roll a bunch, we're gonna run zoom action a bunch. Like he's not. I don't. Maybe that's just me. Chat. What do you got? Am I bugging? Or do you guys think that he is like maybe giving away a little too much with the game plan and things like that? I don't think that's a lot to me personally. That's just me. Am I also live on YouTube? Yes, sir. I am. I am live on YouTube. The having some technical difficulties like the chat and things like that for right now, but those will be all fixed before the start of the season. Those will all be fixed before the start of the season. Appreciate everybody that's hopping in here. We'll be doing a rotation build here in a little bit. Let's get some more questions and comments in here. That guy, would I prefer Max/Cam starting? An AR as a six-man would help the perimeter defense of the starting lineup. This is kind of just been my thought process. Well, I mean, D'Lo or Austin next to Max, but I think Max, that is a late in season type of move, in my opinion. And that is all right, an injury maybe happens type of move. And Max has the opportunity to step up and prove himself. I mean, I've talked about it, man. I think Max Christie for this team to hit their ceiling. And it's weird, and there is another quote that I'm going to get to. I haven't even read it yet, so we're going to read it together here, kind of. So for my power ranking series, I have tiers and things like that, and I think I'm going to surprise you guys where I have the Lakers at, because I think the Lakers, do I consider them a top-tier contender? No, but I do think there is, regardless of how pessimistic you can be about this team, and there's a lot of reasons to be pessimistic about this team. There is a path, I think, still to this team winning a championship. It's a lot that needs to happen for them. Like, you need another healthy season from Bron and AD. I think you need that for sure. You need a big step from like a Max Christie. You need Don Connect to be day one ready. You need Austin to take another baby step of a leap. And you need to make a deal, and maybe I'm missing a couple other things, right? Some variant stuff, right? But there is a path to this team winning a title. I think Max is going to be a guy that this team is really, really going to need. I think that contract kind of indicates that as well. Let's get to kind of this next quote here from JJ Redick again on the low post. The expectation, this is on the Lakers' expectations. The expectation that we have internally is that we're going to establish our core values and identity on both sides of the floor. I believe in this group. If we do that, I think we'll be in the playoffs and have a chance to compete. Again, that kind of goes back to my point, and that's one of the biggest reasons why that I think there is a path for the Lakers to get to the playoff. I mean, a path for them to win a title still. Again, be pessimistic all you want. And again, I completely understand it. I'll have my pessimistic moments as well. But at the end of the day, Anthony Davis is, in my opinion, the fifth best player in basketball. And if you think LeBron's going to fall off a cliff, he's still a top 50, or has, kind of started to fall off a little bit. He's still a top 15 player. I think he's a top 10 player still, right? So you have two top 10 players. I don't think you can make any definitive statements about JJ Redick, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I think you have a solid core. You get this team to the playoffs. They're very matchup dependent, but again, it takes a little bit of luck. So again, there is a path. There is a path. A lot needs to happen for them, but it's not out of the question. Like, this team isn't the Clippers, for an example, that I talked about in my power ranking series, where I don't see any world where the Clippers win a title this season, right? I think they can make the playoffs, and I think that's kind of their ceiling. I have real questions about that Clippers team, but with the Lakers, is it the most likely scenario that they win a ring? No, but it is within the realm of possibility. And I think they don't get enough credit for that. All right, let's catch it back on the chat here. Would I entertain a Zach LaVine trade at the deadline to get off D'Lo expiring, or do we keep D'Lo and let him walk? Well, for starters, what does that Zach LaVine trade kind of look like? Because to get Zach LaVine, if we're throwing in D'Lo, you need D'Lo, Gabe, and then probably Ruby, I think, or D'Lo, Vando, and Ruby, or something like a weird combination of those four guys or whatever. And I get it. You don't want to lose D'Lo for nothing. And who knows what Gabe's real value is, for example. But I don't know. I don't know. And it also depends on what this team really needs. I'm not sure if another scorer is something this team really, really needs right now. They need a backup big, and they need a wing stopping like defensive player that can also stretch the floor. Zach LaVine doesn't fit those two needs, in my opinion. No, I hear your point. I think whatever JJ was saying is sense. So yeah, that's fair. Mr. 81, I'm so disappointed this front office sucks. No trades. Think we are winning a championship with the same roster and starting lineup. I get it. Every Lakers channel is a D'Lo hater and AR fanboy. That's not what I'm saying. What's the starting five? The starting five is D'Lo, Austin, LeBron, Rui, AD. If you say we're winning with this roster and starting lineup, you're delusional. I didn't say they're winning. I actually think that's the least likely outcome right before like completely missing the playoffs. I think they make the playoffs unless like injury happens. But to completely strike that out of all existence, I think it's a little disingenuous. I think even if it's a 2% chance. There's only 12 teams in the entire league. Really 11 teams in the entire league. There's only 11 teams in the entire league that I think have a shot at winning a chip, right? Like a 1% chance of winning a chip. It's only 11 teams. So the Lakers are one of the 11 teams, in my opinion, that have a 1% chance or better. Let's see. I would love to watch your post-game show, but I also like Lakers Nation. Would you do it at a different time than them, or is that something you're really considering? For being completely honest, it would probably be a similar time, if not the exact same time, which I completely understand. You guys not being a fan of that, so that's why I want to give you guys the option. And again, I'll make a post in the community section. Again, my vote would be doing it the next day. It's different. Not a lot of people are kind of doing it the next day after rewatching the film and things like that. We will be doing playback stuff too as well. I'll have a bunch of great announcements as we get closer and closer to the start of the season. I'm so tired of the excuses every season. It's either we got to make a coaching change, a roster change, injuries, or running it back. This garbage. I think they need an upgrade for sure. What would I give up for Capella? Not a lot. Capella is really the guy I would be targeting personally. He couldn't shoot to save his life. Who? Cam Reddish? Oh, wait, no. Austin Reaves is coming off a real struggling season. I know if you just look at his overall stats, he was good, but if you actually watched the game, he was incredibly consistent. He couldn't shoot to save his life. So I think the reason why, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Austin Reaves' down season last season is due to the fact that his off-ball numbers significantly dropped compared to the previous season. And while I pull up my data here, again, shout out to my good friends over at Synergy. This is regular season and playoffs. I do want to say, we're going to put the camera solo cam on Synergy here. I do want to say that Austin Reaves took a baby jump. He took a baby jump as an on-ball creator. He took a baby jump last season. As you guys can see here, when we go to play type data, Austin Reaves is in the 92nd percentile and pick and roll scoring efficiency. Like, he's incredible. He shot 47.5% on pick and roll threes last season. And in general, he shot, if you add in like ISO threes or whatever, that number, the pull-up number drops to 36.3% overall. But his catch and shoot numbers were 35%. We look back to the season prior. The season prior for Austin Reaves, regular season and playoffs, 40.8% on catch and shoot threes, 40.5% on pull-up threes. But his pick and roll volume was way lower. Only shot 33%. Only shot 33 pick and roll 3-point attempts. Where last season he shot 99 pick and roll 3-point attempts, shot almost 48%. Right? With Austin, didn't really shoot well on ISO. And really with Austin, a pick and roll 3 number is really what matters. And the spot up number. These are the two most important numbers for me with Austin. The pick and roll number and the spot up number. And he just didn't shoot well on spot up threes last season. So that's my opinion. And he obviously didn't shoot the ball well at all. Like, regardless of the situation, really. In the playoffs, I mean, he shot fine. Pretty decently, actually, on pull-ups. 38.5% in the playoffs on pull-up threes. But again, with Austin, he couldn't shoot worth anything on catch and shoot opportunities. When playing next to Bron, playing next to D'Lo, playing next to AD, that is what is going to be the most important thing. It's his ability to play off the ball, and that really tanked his value last season. Just my opinion, though. All right, let's catch back up here. Next day is way better. There's like 3 or 4 channels to do post game anyway. None really do next day film. Yep. Again, that's kind of my logic. And because the rumor is that I left or whatever because of sleep. That's the main takeaway. That would also feed that narrative. Anyway, let's get back to the chat here. But yes, I am a fan of doing it the next day. I am definitely a fan of doing it the next day. Sean, bring Trevor on as a guest to your show. I was just talking with Trevor like last week, I think, actually. Just checking in with him. See how my guy Trevor is still my guy. What's going on, Sean? Congrats on the new show. Well done, bro. Appreciate it. And again, guys, I have it pinned as the pinned comment. Go check out my personal channel as well. We will be doing these live streams a whole lot more heading into the season. Especially, we kind of just said it. We're gonna do either a post game show or the day after, kind of recap show. I again lean towards the day after portion. Do I agree with your lineup? D'Lo, Reaves, Gabe, AD, and Bron. I don't think that's a switchy lineup. And if it is switchy, it's not like a good switchy. You can switch 1 through 3 technically because you have 3 guards, similar height and things like that. But I don't think that's a good lineup. You're asking a lot for Braun defensively with that group. You actually forget Braun. You asking a lot out of Austin with that group, or Gabe, because now one of them is guarding like the assumingly right the opposing team's best wing, right? So I mean technically it's a switchy group, but I don't think it's a good type of switchy. Do I believe that D'Lo and Austin would be the best backcourt in the league? Because you still believe? I don't really think so. Like best backcourt, the best backcourt in the league. The very first one that comes to my head is I don't know why it's the first one that came to my head, but Halliburton and Nembhard, Luka, Kyrie. They would have to play at an absurd level. Like one of those guys would have to just magically turn into top 10 players. Yeah, Luka, Kyrie. I don't know why I thought of Hallie and Nembhard first over Luka and Kyrie. What's another one? That I'm just blanking on here? I mean, hell, Fox and Monk. LaMelo and Brandon Miller. It's a sneaky one. That's a sneaky one. Dang. Oh yeah, Brunson. I mean, who's like DiVincenzo, SGA, J-Dub, yeah. I mean, OKC has a lot of guards, so you can essentially just say SGA and insert another guard. Oh yeah, Ja, Desmond Bane. So you're kind of proving my point. Like, there's a lot of guards, like really good guard tandems, that you would have to like D'Lo or Austin would have to turn into top 10 players this season for that to happen. And that's not me being negative. Let's not be Drew and Derek White. Yeah. Drew and Derek White. We'll go for about another 5 or so minutes here. Yeah. I still fine backcourt. Step in pods will be sneaky. Yeah. Will I still show up on Lakers Nation, Lake Show sometimes? Never say never, but never say never. Sean Coloco, or just thoughts on Coloco in general. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I think he has some raw potential still. Athletic. I think defensively he can help, but the offensive side of the floor is just it's just a massive question mark, and he's not going to be very playable next to Anthony Davis. So, what do I think is going to take for the Lakers to get on the right path to win a championship? Right path to win a championship. Like I said, it's a lot of things I think will need to happen. Like, again, you're gonna need JJ Redick to be a top 20 head coach. Bar sounds like it's set real low, but Darvin his entire tenure was kind of a bottom 10 coach. So can JJ be a middle of the pack coach? And that's still kind of a tough expectation because he never coached before. But by playoff time, can he be a top 20 head coach? You need to make a move to kind of address the backup big and some playability next to Anthony Davis. Add a real wing, a true 3-and-D wing. Okay, you need the health from Braun and AD. You also need your role players to be healthy too, to a certain extent. Those would be the 4 biggest. And like I say, you need some leaps from some of these guys. You need Max to prove the contract is worthy. You need Austin to take another baby step of a leap. You need Rui to be the offensive rebounder that JJ is hyping him up to be. So there's a lot. Again, what's like FanDuel's over under odds for the Lakers to win a championship? Let me see. Yeah, see, like that is a lot. That's a lot to ask for. If I had to pick only like 2 of those things to happen, give me the health, like Braun and AD being healthy come playoff time, obviously, and give me JJ Redick being a top 20 head coach. If I could only pick 2, those would be the 2 things I would ask for. Let's see. We're over under odds for the Lakers this season. I went to their season 43.5. That's kind of low. It's kind of low, I think. I mean, I guess I get it. NBA championship. Let's see. It's a couple of these teams that got above the Lakers. Actually, like really only two teams in particular. Like the Magic and the Cavs are both tied with the Lakers for the same for the same championship odds. That's kind of a joke in my opinion. So I don't know. D'Lo and Reaves are top 20 backcourt in the league. Maybe a little bit, I'd have to like really sit down and think about that, but doesn't sound too far off. Maybe a little bit lower, like bottom 10, probably. Jaws MVP. My MVP pick right now is this SGA. 55 wins. I would probably bet the under. I just think I think the Lakers are going to start off a little bit slower. But like if I had to set the over under for the Lakers, I would actually set it at what they finished last season. I would have set it at 47.5. And that I think would have been, because 43.5, that feels like too good of a value. You know what I'm saying? Because I think essentially if Bron and AD are healthy, I think they'll will this team to 44 wins. But if you set this at 47.5, okay, cool. Are they winning you 48 games and everything else around them sucks? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see. Does Castleton play himself into a regular season contract at training camp? I don't know. He would. My thing with Colin Castleton is, and I like Castleton, but my thing with Castleton has always kind of been, what does he do great? You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have one defining trait that he is definitively good at. I think he's fine at a lot. They like, okay, if you want to say playmaking, fine, but does that really help this team? Like, he's a okay rim protector. He's a okay finisher. He's a below average offensive scorer in general, like outside of just finishing at the rim. Yeah, I don't think he does any particular thing great. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion with Colin Castleton. I think he's fine. I like him a lot. I got to interview him when I was with Lakers Nation. Seems like a nice person. Nothing against him, but that just my basketball analysis. I think he's fine. So I don't know. He would have to like really change something up in this game. And that's possible with training camp. He's got to get the opportunity. He's going to get the opportunity between him, Coy Loco, and Jackson Hayes. There are minutes to be had at the backup spot. He has nice handles. For a big, his handles is fine. Sure. Hey, Sean, first 10 games, my prediction is 3-7 trash roster. Let's see. I haven't like fully looked at the first 10 games. Chat, drop your guys' follow along with me. Let's do our first 10 game prediction here. All right, real quick. We gotta set the standard here. All right, or we gotta like make everything clear. Is Jarred Vanderbilt available? Are we like operating under the premises that Jarred Vanderbilt does not play in the first 10 games? Are we kind of operating with that? Kind of, is that fair? Or does Vando play? How are we doing this? Because my mindset might switch if Vando's playing or not. Let me know, guys. Is Vando going to play in the first 10 games of the season? Yes or no? Come on, chat. 3-7 are no higher than 5-5. 6-4. 3-7. Pray for 6-4. All right, no Vando. Okay. No Vando. All right, let's see. Let's do this. Let me pull it up here. We can pull this up here on a good old. We're going to do this game by game. Opening night. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's go. Let's have a looky here. Let's have a looky here. All right, cool. First game of the year, Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, so follow me, Chad. This is my dilemma. I think they match up well in Minnesota. I think they match up well in Minnesota. It's the Phoenix matchup without Vando that scares the shit out of me. But also you have to account for the fact that this is JJ Redick's first actual like real game that counts as an NBA coach. All right, we're gonna do it this way. Favorite can win, underdog. We'll do it like that, right? Favorite can win underdog. We'll set it up like that, right? Sound good? Sound good. Let me grab a we'll just like put in our notes or whatever. Keep track of this. Favorite can win underdog. So let's take a tally right quick. All right. So I'm going to go with can win. This is a can win game. I think they match up well with them. If they had Vando for the Anthony Edwards matchup, I would say yes, they would win this game. They're at home too. So we're going to stick with can win for right now. All right, Phoenix, second game of the year. I think they're the underdog in this one. This matchup scares the hell out of me. Yeah, I am scared of this Phoenix matchup with no Vando, and yeah, like who's guarding Ant? LOL, sure, but I just think in general they look good. They match up well with them, so we'll throw an underdog one in there for that one. Or you know what? Let's do this. Phoenix can't guard us. Let's give the Lakers a can win for the home matchup and an underdog for the away matchup. Sound good? Because they play them twice. So we'll do that. Can win, underdog. Sacramento at home. I mean, I hate to say this, but like until proven otherwise, they're the underdog in this one. Unless do we think the Lakers are in that much different than what they've been against Sacramento when they've struggled against the Kings? So like this is a very Clippers-esque situation where you have to show me. That's kind of where I'm at with Sacramento. The Lakers just need to show me at this point. Like, can you guys finally just beat them? Because in a 7-game series, I'm taking the Lakers, but for some stupid reason. So we're gonna add another underdog to that column there. Add another underdog there. At Cleveland, I hate this Cavs team. You guys we're going to be getting to the Cavs soon in my power ranking series. So I don't care that Bron always goes crazy in Cleveland. I'm adding this as a favorite. I don't care. You guys are going to get mad. Or the people that like don't like this team are going to get mad at least. I'm counting this as a favorite. I think the Lakers are the favorites to go into Cleveland and win that game. Let's see. Next up, at Toronto, favorite. I think that Toronto team can be really bad. They have some talent. They're a better team probably than they were last year, but I also think that Toronto team is just pretty bad. So we're gonna go two favorites. At Detroit, again, favorite. Now I think so. We'll add another favorite here. At Memphis, final game of the road trip. Is that a back-to-back? No, it is not. They kind of got blessed by not having any back-to-backs here. At Memphis, but the last game of the road trip, I think they're underdogs for this one. At Memphis, last game of a road trip, I think they're underdogs. And then they wrap up with Philly at home. Philly at home. Is that a can win, chat? Can win? That is a long road trip. That's a long. That's like that's a full week. No, that's longer than a week. You go out on the road October 28th. You come back home. You don't play home again until November 28th. I mean, sorry, no, geez, not November 28th. November 8th. All right, we're gonna do can win. Can win against Philly. Like they can win that game. And then is it Toronto again? Hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, Toronto again at home. Favorite again, I guess, right? It's kind of weird that you're playing Toronto more than like you're playing Toronto both times within the first 2 weeks of the season. So essentially what I got for the Lakers, I have them as favorites in 4 of these 10 games where I think them losing would be a problem. Those are, for me at least, I think at Cleveland, because again, maybe that Cleveland game is really like a can win. I just am not a fan of that Cavs team. So, why not? We'll drop that to can win. Okay. But the kind of non-negotiables, like you should win these games. Toronto twice, Detroit. Those are must-haves. If this stream, yes, let's go. If this stream hits 100 likes, they win versus Philly. Come on, guys, we're 5 likes away. Let's go. Hit that like button for me. Appreciate it. All right. But yeah, the must wins at Detroit and Toronto both times. You got to win those 3 games. Then I don't know if they win these games, but like they can for sure. Minnesota, Phoenix, one of the Phoenix games. I don't think they beat them both times. Cleveland, and then Philly at home. And then the flat out underdog games, I think it's Sacramento, Phoenix, at Phoenix probably, and then Memphis. I think they are underdogs in those games. So none of these games are back-to-backs, which is actually a good thing. Oh, wait, yes, yeah, no way, I lied. Ooh, even though it's a home back-to-back, Sacramento's second half of back-to-back is actually kind of proving my point for why that's on the probably not list or the underdog list. So, yeah, I think I would probably go something like 5-5. Worst case scenario, 3-7. For me, my worst case scenario would be 3-7. My best case scenario is probably like 6-4. And then I probably would say like 5-5 is probably where I'll lean with this team. Like, they beat Detroit. I think they beat Cleveland, regardless of where I have that game at. I think they beat Detroit. They beat Cleveland. They beat Phoenix at least once. I think they beat Toronto at least once. And that's 4 wins right there, I think. Subscribe. Yes, subscribe. We'll get some super chats and some other fun stuff set up next live stream. This was very impromptu. So apologies for any like the weirdness with how like kind of the stream started, things like that. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the time the season started. And then I have one last question for you guys before we kind of wrap up here. I have to, rest my voice before I record number 16, my power ranking series on my personal channel. So one of the things I'm doing for my overall content this season is and this is where I'm throwing it to you guys here before we kind of wrap up. I'm either going to do a weekly, like league-wide recap, or I will do like a next day kind of notes or whatever from every game throughout the league. Which one would you guys prefer? Right? If it's the league-wide recap, I would be looking at every team's week, kind of recap some of the narratives and some of the stuff I saw from their games or whatever. Or the next day recap, that'll be on like Substack or something where it's just some notes that I might have taken from each game the night before. Which one would you guys prefer here before we kind of wrap up here on the channel? I call this a success for the first ever live stream. Lakers, because it's us against the league. No. All right. Let me clarify. This is league. It's gonna be league wide regardless. It's just whether or not it is a weekly video, or is the day-to-day notes or whatever? That's the difference. I apologize. Weekly, league-wide weekly. Another weekly. Okay. I figured that's also what I would prefer to. But again, I want to leave it up to you guys. So once again, if you guys are new, go subscribe to my personal channel, Sports Online Show. That's where all my NBA content as a whole will be at. And we'll be loading up here on this channel. Film breakdowns will be happening this season. I'll be doing a content release schedule and things like that. Let you guys know what the plan is heading into this upcoming season. We'll do maybe consider doing some member stuff once the season gets going as well. A lot of stuff happening, but I appreciate you guys. It was just a massive success for an impromptu live stream. And yeah, anything else before we wrap up here that you guys want to get off your chest, if you will? Yeah, it's a video if it's weekly. Yeah. So again, go subscribe. You guys will be able to get the weekly breakdowns on my personal channel, and then Lakers related stuff will stay here for the most part. But the weekly stuff will be a ton of fun. What do I predict will be the one major difference between Redick and Ham's coaching styles? The biggest difference, I think, is personnel usage. One of my biggest criticisms of Darvin Ham was I don't think he always leaned into the strengths of his players. I expect that from JJ. I think JJ is going to tap into the strengths of his best players, or just his players in general, and really try to get the most out of each player. And I think this team's going to be more detail oriented too. That's something JJ's talked about. How about my prediction, Sean? 10-0. It is definitely possible. I wouldn't bet on it though. That's a tough 10-game stretch. That's a tough 10-game stretch. Again, my kind of optimistic pick would be more 6-4. Maybe 6-4. That's kind of my optimistic pick. My overall pick though is probably 5-5. I think they're for sure favorites in 3 of these games, and then I think they can, or at least I hope that they can kind of muscle out 2 extra wins. Yeah. Envy for sure. Will I be doing live streams for preseason games? Oh, yeah. I am moving. I'm moving. When's the Lakers' first preseason game? Because I'm moving next Monday. Lakers' first preseason game is next Friday, the 4th. So it really just depends on if I can get my entire setup built by that Minnesota game. But if not by the Minnesota or Phoenix game, I think we should be up and running by the Milwaukee Bucks game on October the 10th. We should be good by then. I'm going to the Jazz game. Will it be good? Which Jazz game? Is it the one early in the year? If it's early in the year, on the 19th, November 19th, I'm assuming. 7-3, Sean, Braun, AD got something to prove as well. Chip on their shoulder. Hey, I hope so. I do think there's a lot of guys on the roster that have something to prove. So I think that's fair for sure. Early, so yeah, November the 19th. Yeah, that could be a pretty solid game for sure. I think that's when Utah's gonna be trying the most, right? Early in the year, before any injuries happen, really, before they realize they're just terrible. Yeah, that could be a good game. Do I know when media day is? Media day is Monday, I think. It's Monday the 30th? I think that's right. Yeah. Media day is Monday, if I recall correctly. How much do I think Bronny's going to be used this year? Not much. I don't really have a lot of expectations for Bronny heading into this season. I don't really have a lot of expectations. Yeah, media days. Yep, September 30th, so Monday. Damn, that sucks. The day I'm moving is the day media day is. That is brutal. That's brutal. Alrighty then, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe here to this channel. Go check out my other channel as well. Glad we were able to get this done. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe. and peace out.